Good morning students, we will continue with body movements. We'll start with hinge joints. You see, when you open and close a door for few times, you observe hinges of the door carefully. They allow the door to move back and forth. This kind of a joint which helps the body to move back and forth is called as a hinge joint. As a hinge joint. The elbow has an hinge joint that allows only a back and forth movement. Can you think of more examples of such joints? Fixed joints. Some joints between the bones in our head are different from those we have discussed so far. The bones cannot move at these joints. Such joints are called as fixed joints. When you open your mouth wide, you can move your lower jaw away from your head, isn't it? Lower jaw away from your head. Try to move your upper jaw now. Are you able to move? No. There is a joint between upper jaw and the rest of the head which is a fixed joint. Fixed joints are a kind of joints where bones cannot move. It is present between the head and the upper jaw. And the rest of the head, which we discussed only some of the joints that connects part of brain. What about different parts of the body and their different shapes? If you want to make a doll, what will you make first? Perhaps a framework to give the doll shape before making it. Isn't it? All the bones in our body also form a framework to give shape to our body. The human skeleton is composed of around 305 bones at birth. The number of bones in the skeleton changes with age. It decreases to 206 by about adulthood after some bones have fused together. This framework is called a skeleton. Skeleton is the framework, like you can see here, which gives our body a shape. How do you know that this is the shape of a human skeleton? How do we know the shapes of different bones of our body? We can have some idea about shape and number of bones in some part of the body by feeling them. One way we could know this shape is better look at X-ray images of the body. Does anyone or did you anyone of you have an X-ray or any part of the body taken? Sometimes when we are hurt or have an accident, doctor use these X-ray images to find out about possible injuries that might have happened to the bones. The X-rays show the shape of the bones in our bodies. Feel the bones in the forearm, upper arm, lower leg and upper leg. Try to find the number of bones in each part. Similarly, feel the bones of your ankle and knee joints. Compare this with X-ray images behind your fingers. Are you able to bend at every joint? How many of bones that your middle finger have? Feel the back of your palm. It seems to have many bones, isn't it? Is your wrist flexible? It is made up of several small bones called carpals. Your wrist is made up of several small bones called carpals. What will happen if it has only one bone? If it has only one bone, it's difficult to move. Take a deep breath and hold it for a little while. Feel your chest bones and the back movement gently pressing in the middle of the chest back at the same time. Count as many ribs. These are called ribs which are present in the chest. Idin ribs antare. Chest hatra irutte idu. Positive. Try to count and compare with what you feel of chest bones. We see that ribs are curiously bent. They join the chest bone and the backbone together to form rib cage. This is rib cage. Ribs join the chest bone back together to form rib cage. There are 12 ribs on each side of the chest. Some important internal parts of the body lie protected in this cage. Some important internal parts of our body lie protected in this case. Ask some friends to touch their toes without bending their knees. Starting from the neck, move your fingers downwards. On the back of your friend, what you feel is backbone. Starting from the neck, we will feel, if you feel the finger downwards, we will be getting backbone. It is made up of many, backbone is made up of many small bones called vertebrae, called as vertebrae. The backbone consists of 33 vertebrae. The rib cage is joined to these bones. The rib cage is joined to. So here this is the rib cage, and back we can also see backbone also at the back. Total 12 ribs are there. It is made up of many small bones. The backbone consists of 33 vertebrae. The rib cage is joined to these bones. If backbone was made up of only one bone, long bone, would be a friend able to bend? No. If the backbone was made up of only one, it was very difficult for us to bend. Make your friend stand with both hands and press to the wall and ask her to push the wall. Do you notice two bones at the back are prominent? These are called as shoulder bones. These are called as shoulder bones. Figure. Observe 8.13. Structure is made up of pelvic bones. They enclose the portion of our body below the stomach. This is the part you sit on. This pelvic bones is the part where we sit on. And head part is called skull. The skull is made up of many bones joined together. It encloses and protects a very important part of the body, the brain. It encloses and protects a very important part of our body, brain. This is skull. ಇದನ್ನ ಸ್ಕಲ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ, ಇದನ್ನ ಪೆಲ್ವಿಕ್ ಬೋನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಇದು ಸೊಂಟದ ಹತ್ರ ನಾವು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇದು ಶೋಲ್ಡರ್ ಬೋನ್ಸು, ಬೆನ್ನು ಶೋಲ್ಡರ್ ಹತ್ರ ಪಾಯಿಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಪುಷ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಇದೇ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗೋದು. ಇದನ್ನು ರಿಬ್ ಕೇಜ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ. We discuss many bones and joints. There are some additional parts of skeleton that are not had as bones, which can be bent. These are called cartilage, which are not hard as the bones, which can be bent. These are called cartilage. ಕಾರ್ಟಿಲೇಜ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ ಬೋನ್. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕಿವಿಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಮೂಗಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಗಂಟ್ಲು ಓಪನಿಂಗಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಫೀಲ್ ಯುವರ್ ಇಯರ್. ಡು ಯು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಎನಿ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ ಬೋನಿ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಬೆಂಟ್? ನೋ, ದೇರ್ ಡಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸೀಮ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಎನಿ ಬೋನ್ಸ್ ದೇರ್, isn't it? Do you notice everything different between earlobe and the portions above it? In our ear we have a soft bone called cartilage. We have a soft bone called cartilage. The upper part of the ear has cartilage. The upper part of the ear is not soft as the earlobe, but not hard as a bone, isn't it? This is cartilage. Cartilage is also found in the joints of the body. We have seen that our skeleton is made up of many bones, joints and cartilage. You could feel, bend and move many of them. We have learnt about the bones in our body and about joints that help us to move in different ways. Make a fist with one hand and bend your arm at the elbow and touch your shoulder with thumb. Do you see any change in upper arm? Touch with other hand. Do you observe a swollen region in the upper one? The muscle bulged to the contraction. Now bring your ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಮಸಲ್. ನೀವು ಕೈ ಈ ಥರ ಮಾಡಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ಕೈ ದಪ್ಪ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ಮಸಲಿಂದ. ಮಸಲ್ಲು ಅದು ಊದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಸಲಿಂದ. ಇಫ್ ಐ ಬ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಟು ದ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್, ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ ಟು ದ ಮಸಲ್? ಈಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟೆಡ್? ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಸಿಮಿಲ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆನ್ ಯುವರ್ muscles in your leg. When contracted, muscle becomes shorter, stiffer and thicker. It pulls the bone. Muscles work in pairs. When one of them contracts, the bone is pulled in that direction. The other muscle of the pair relaxes. To move the bone in the opposite direction, the relaxed muscle contracts to pull the bone towards its original position, while the first relaxes. A muscle can only pull, it cannot push. Thus two muscles have to work together to move a bone. Muscles work in pair. Muscles pair ಆಗಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದು ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಬೋನ್ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ರಿಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಬೋನ್ನ ಆಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ದ ರಿಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಮಸಲ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಟು ಪುಲ್ ದ ಬೋನ್ ಟುವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ದ ಒರಿಜಿನಲ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್, while the first leg, the muscle can only pull. Our muscles and bones always required for movement. How do other animals move? Do all the animals have bones? What about an earthworm or a snail? So, gait of animals. You observe an earthworm moving on soil in a garden. Gently lift it and place in the piece of a filter paper. Observe its movement. Now, is it different on the paper in which the two opposites are defined? Earthworm is able to move easily. The body of earthworm is made up of many rings joined from one end to end. An earthworm does not have bones. It has muscles which help it to extend and shorten the body. During movement, the earthworm first extends the front part of the body, keeping the rear portion to fix it to the ground. Then it fixes the first end and releases the rear end. It shortens the body and pulls the rear end forward. This makes it move forward by a small distance. Earthworm ಹೆಂಗೆ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ, ಅರ್ಥವಮ್ಮು ಫಸ್ಟು ಫ್ರಂಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬಾಡಿನ ಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನ ಇದಾಗಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನ ಫಿಕ್ಸೆಡ್ ಆಗಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಫ್ರಂಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನ ಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಫ್ರಂಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನ ಫಿಕ್ಸಾಗಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನ ಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಮೇಕ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಮೂವ್ ಬೈ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್. ಇದರಿಂದ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದೂರ ಹೋಗೋಕ್ಕೆ ಮೇನು ಬೋನ್ಸ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ ಅರ್ಥವಾಮ್ಗೆ, ಬರೀ ಮಸಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಯಾನ್ಷನ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಯಾನ್ಷನ್ನು ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ನು ಅರ್ಥವಾಮ್ ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಬಾಡಿಯಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಲೈಮಿ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸು ಸೆಕ್ರೀಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬಾಡಿಯಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಲೈಮಿ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಸೆಕ್ರೀಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಬಾಡಿಯಿಂದ. ಸೊ earthworm moves by contraction and relaxation of its body. It also secretes slimy substance to help the movement. How does it fix parts of the body to the ground? Under its body it has large number of tiny bristles, brush-like structures, hair-like structures projecting out. The bristles are connected with muscles. The bristles help it to give a good grip on the ground. The earthworm actually eats its way through the soil. Its body then throws away the undigested part of the material that it eats. This activity of an earthworm makes the soil more useful for the plants. Next is we will observe a snail. ಸ್ನೇಲ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಬಸವನ ಹುಳು ಅಂತಾರೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ. I have seen a rounded structure on its back. This is called as the shell. It is the outer skeleton of the snail, but it is not made up of bones. The shell is a single unit and does not help in moving from place to place. It has to be dragged along. Place the snail on a glass plate and watch it when it starts moving. Carefully lift the glass plate along with the snail overhead. Observe its movement. A thick structure and the head of the snail may come out of the opening in the shell. The thick structure is its foot, made up of strong muscles. Now carefully tilt the glass plate. The wavy motion of the foot can be seen. The wavy motion of the keys. The movement of snail slow or fast? Movement of snail is slow compared to the earthworm. Thank you. Students, read once again all the things which has been given for you. All the body tips and types of body movements, fixed joints can't move. Thank you.